Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and welcome to a vlog, right? This is something you guys have asked for ever since cold weather arrived here in Buffalo and I stopped doing the ride videos on Sunday. A lot of you guys have really wanted to see the return of me shooting the poop. Just casually talking, and frankly, I've wanted to see the return of that too. It's nice to kind of take a break from more well thought out, hardcore game discussions that are all pre-planned, and to just kind of talk with you guys, whether it's about gaming or things outside of gaming. So that's what Saturday is now going to be reserved for. It's going to be reserved for those types of vlogs. And what I want to include every Saturday is also a bit of vocabulary lesson. I know, right? We're going to learn here on a gaming channel. This is something I used to do way back in the early days of the channel, was actually have vocabulary words. What we're going to do instead is we're going to focus on synonyms. Now, it's funny because I get, every now and then I get that person who stumbles in the channel who tries to correct my speech or correct a bit of mistyped dialogue in the description section. People who just are completely unaware of the skill set that I actually have for, public speaking, for speech in general. It's not easy to do what I do. It took me a long time to get to this point. It's something I'm very proud of. And I do get upset when people try and shut that down. I don't really respond to people like that because, whatever, they're not going to ever understand because they've never done it themselves. But the ability to come on here, click the record button on Audacity, and just go. That's what I do. I don't build outlines in text documents. I don't write things down. I build mental outlines, and I give myself sort of checkpoints to go from moment to moment in the conversation. Like, for example, we're talking about, vocabulary now and synonyms, and then I know in my head already the next thing I want to talk about is Star Citizen, and then I want to talk about The Division and Ghost Recon. That's the kind of outline that I build for myself, but the rest of it's free flow. It's just something I've learned to do over the last 4 years, and it's something I'm very proud of. I take a lot of pride in being able to speak like I do. It's definitely not a skill that everyone has, although it is a skill that I feel everyone should aim to have. It's actually fairly easy to just spend some time during the course of your day talking to yourself about any topic. I know that sounds insane, but I find it to be a very impressive skill set when you can go into a conversation with somebody in real life, and I promise you this is the kind of thing that impresses when you go to an interview and be able to string together words and sentences to make a really great piece of discussion with someone else. One where you're not sitting there baffled by the word that you needed to use to describe the situation, the feeling that you were trying to convey. So, enough of me blabbing about that, and let's talk about my set of synonyms for the word of the day, because I find myself often using the same word over and over in certain situations when I'm describing a game or a certain element of a game. And recently I was like, I really want to focus on synonyms a little bit more. I want to start to have more words so I can have a little bit more variety in the words that I use and use certain words in certain situations. Probably one of the biggest ones, and the one that we're going to kick off this week with, is exceptional. Exceptional meaning unusual or not typical. I use exceptional all too often, and there are a slew of really great synonyms that can be put in its place. So I've selected two of my favorites, two words that I like the way they sound, and I feel that they're definitely underused by people as a whole. Those words being remarkable and extraordinary, or extraordinary, as some people would pronounce it, or as how it's properly pronounced, I suppose. So I'm going to make a conscious effort in my speech to develop those two words. Now, the way I do this outside of creating videos is that I use them in speech, everyday speech, text messages, when talking to friends and family. And believe me, once you start to do that and you recognize that word, your brain can kind of trigger it. It's really easy to just spit it out and say, oh, this match of Gladiator I had in Rise, Son of Rome was rather remarkable. I actually made it to the end for the first time in a very long time. Or the Roman gladiators had extraordinary capabilities. Actually, they weren't Romans, they were captured by the Romans, but you get what I'm saying. It's just using those, making that conscious effort to make that connection. For some people, you're only gonna have to do it once or twice. Some people a little bit more. It really depends on just how quickly your brain can absorb that information. And the more you do it, the more easily your brain is going to be able to absorb and then input those words during freeform conversation. So that's our word and set of synonyms for this Saturday. Exceptional. My favorite synonyms were remarkable and extraordinary. let's move on and actually talk about game stuff now. So you guys are seeing some footage from Rise Son of Rome because I ended up playing way too much of the Gladiator mode yesterday, probably about 3 hours worth. Got really caught up in it before work and was just like, oh, hey, this is actually a lot of fun. I was a big fan of the show Spartacus before the original actor passed away. I actually really dug that show. That was just super well done. So having seen that show since I originally played Rise Son of Rome, it made the Gladiator mode like more interesting to me. I was way more into it. I was like, oh, this is so cool, man. I feel like, you know, Spartacus all over. Like, this is awesome. So I ended up playing way too much of it, and that's why you guys are seeing footage of it. But what I'm actually doing right now as we speak is I am downloading the massive update for Star Citizen 2.0. I think it's got about 30 minutes left. It was like 20 freaking gigs. But Star Citizen 2.0 is live for everyone who is a backer. It's no longer just in the public test universe. And that's awesome. I know a lot of you guys probably want to see me do some Star Citizen stuff. It's been a while. I've been waiting for 2.0. And I'm excited to look it out, to check it out. Definitely going to go in. I think we're going to do a long play sometime this week. So I'm going to give you guys my impressions. But we're just we're going to play everything that we can in 2.0. Hopefully without any crashes or without any issues, we can sit down and just make a big long video checking out everything that's available. And then before the end of the year, probably sometime next week as well, I plan on doing my Star Citizen into 2016 discussion. It's become sort of a annual thing where at the end of the year, I take a look at Star Citizen's current progress and talk about what I'd like to see moving into the new year. Those videos I've always done exceptionally. They've done extraordinarily well for some reason, and I don't really know why, because it's a lot of me just shooting the poop quite like this, talking about what I liked about Star Citizen this year, what disappointed me moving on going forward, but they've always done killer. Like, my Into 2015 video has like 60-some thousand views, which is fantastic. And I'd very much like for the day to come where people who see all those old Star Citizen videos can come to the channel and actually see Star Citizen content. So hopefully 2.0 gives me some stuff to do. I don't think it's going to gamify Star Citizen yet. You know, I think it's just going to kind of give us a little bit more of a sandbox to mess around in. I'm very much looking forward to the time and period when it hits the mark that the original, that Elite Dangerous did, you know, during its early days where we were actually able to do some small trading and small combat stuff. I think once Star Citizen can do that, that's going to be awesome. But I'm excited to, you know, start to do the first person stuff, the multi-crew, all that's going to be in 2.0. Really stoked to check it out this weekend. Now, there's one thing that I've been playing that sadly I can't even talk about, and that is the Division Alpha. Yeah, I was in the Alpha on the Xbox One. It's still going, in fact. And it's under NDA, so I can't show you guys any footage. I can't really talk about it. All I'm gonna say is I'm thoroughly disappointed it's under NDA. And now you guys know if the game was terrible, I wouldn't care that it was under NDA. So that kind of says what I think of it. Let's just say I was exceptionally... See what I'm saying? I was impressed. My time with the alpha was remarkable. And that's all I can say. I can leave it at that. Look forward to the beta for the game early next year. If you have the opportunity to play it, do it. Do it. This is a game you need to experience. But that got me thinking about Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was also announced, you know, kind of around the same time that we started to learn, you know, dates for the Division. And I'm stoked. I'm a huge Ghost Recon guy. I've been wanting to go back and play Future Soldier just to kind of refresh my memory. And, you know, honestly, the original Ghost Recon Island Thunder, Ghost Recon 2, huge memories for me. I used to go to we used to have a LAN session every single Friday night. It was my friend, his uncle, and a bunch of his friends, a bunch of older guys, and we'd all go play System Link Ghost Recon 2. And it was just so much fun. A lot of great memories for that. We played it well into the life of the Xbox 360, and that is a game that was on the original Xbox. That's how much we played Ghost Recon 2. A whole lot of fun. So really excited to see them taking it in a new light, you know, going with a big open world. And if you guys haven't been following their YouTube channel, the developers have been answering questions. They've been talking about the game, you know, breaking down certain components of it. They haven't showed off anything new that we haven't seen in the trailer announcement, but it's just cool to hear them talking, kind of see the people that they are. And I have to say, there's a lot of awesome looking beards going on there. And when I think tactical awesomeness in beards, they just go hand in hand. I think Chris Costa would definitely agree with that. So I have faith because of the beards that Wildlands is going to be awesome. But no, really, you know, it looks like they're using some modified elements from what they did with Future Soldier. Gunsmith is returning. They've confirmed that. So you're going to have all that crazy weapon customization, the ability to change out barrels and receivers. That was awesome in Future Soldier. I loved what they did with that. And now to put you in this open world where it's all about, you know, cooperating with the player. A cool thing they also confirmed, because I do know back during the original announcement, people were concerned if they'd be able to play it alone. Apparently, there's always 4 people, so if you're playing with one, you're going to have 3 AI. Just go check out their stuff. I'll have one of their most recent videos linked down in the description below, which will also then take you to their YouTube channel. Check out really the coverage if you're interested in seeing Ghost Recon return. I know I'm absolutely stoked about it. Cannot wait to see that return. That's really it. I'm going to be going to get a Christmas tree this Sunday. I'm stoked about that. That'll be tomorrow. We always get a real Christmas tree in my family, a big one that I usually have to cut down way too much of. Basically, it's like tradition that we go to Christmas tree, I pick the one that's way too big, and then I pay for it by having to saw off at least 6 inches of the bottom of the stem and get myself absolutely covered in sap just to put the Christmas tree up. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It also seems like it's tradition that it pours on the day that we bring our Christmas tree home, so I'm not looking forward to that. I just wish there was some snow here. It's cold here, but yesterday we had a 60-degree day, and there was no freaking snow, man. I like snow. You know, there's a reason I still live on the East Coast, and that's because I enjoy snow. Honestly, I was talking to a customer at my day job the other day, and I was like, you know, the amount of people who complain about the snow, why do they still live here? Like, they're not holding on into anything special. They just have normal, boring day jobs that barely pay any money. Just, you should have left a long time ago. Like, if I lived someplace that had something that I hated as much as these people hate snow, I would have left a long time ago. I really enjoy the snow, and I know last year we had like 8 feet of it, state of emergency. I'm not asking for that, although I didn't actually mind it that much. A lot of shoveling, my arms were very sore, but I just love the winter, I love the snow. It's why I'm here on the East Coast. I love getting all 4 seasons. Let me know what the weather's like where you guys are. I know that seems kind of corny. Let's have a discussion about the weather, right? That's sort of the ultimate small talk, but it's always interesting to hear what the weather's like in people all over the world. You know, that's far more interesting than, you know, talking to the person who lives next door to me saying, gee, the weather, because he knows what the weather's like. I have no idea what the weather's like for you guys. I've got some friends up in Canada. I know they've said it's been surprisingly warm, but it's starting to get cold, so winter's definitely going to arrive. It's coming. It'll be here eventually, and hopefully the snowfall is rather remarkable. If you guys have any other questions for me or thoughts on anything that I talked about today, you know, definitely throw it down in the comment section below. Get some casual discussion going. Hopefully you guys enjoy the return of vlogs. I plan on doing one of these every single Sunday with a brand new vocab / synonyms included. Go play some games this weekend, guys. It's the weekend. Go play some games. Get ready for the holidays, whatever you may celebrate, and I will see you in the next one.